Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog. So let's get to it. I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all.
All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It's like you can hear it all throughout the store.
This Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, our book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, first story up. I cannot believe I'm starting the top of the blogs talking about the Braxtons of all people, child. You guys know that I decided that I could not do it with that show quite a long time ago. This is actually the new version of the Braxtons. Remember, it was Braxton Family Values. Well, now they've rebooted, re-upped the show, and now it's just the Braxtons. All of the family is on there, of course, minus Tracy, who we did lose in her battle with cancer, but the rest of the ladies are all on the show from what I understand, including the mom. I think the season just recently, well, no, the season hasn't recently started. Maybe this is a new season. Yeah, maybe this is the second season that recently started, and this time they have decided to showcase that whole thing that happened with the niece Ashely, who is the son of their brother. Remember that story came out that Ashely told us that Gabe, Trina's at, well, she never said the name at the time. She just was telling us, or she was telling her TikTok audience that she had an aunt who kind of ostracized her because back when she was 16 years old, the aunt's husband at the time was sexting her. And maybe she was, or maybe she wasn't responding. I mean, she's 16 years old. She's still a child. At the end of the day, Gabe is the one that, at the end of the day, the grown man was coming after this child. Again, she told her story without saying who it was, but of course she's a Braxton. Everybody is trying to figure out in their mind, like, who exactly could she be talking about? We knew that back when she was 16, Trina was married to Gabe. I'm assuming Tamar was with Vince. Well, let's see. The girl is 32 years old now, so this was 16 years ago. So yeah, maybe Tamar may or may not have been with Vince, but no, Tamar probably was with Vince, because how old is their son? Their son is somewhere around 12 or 13 years old himself, isn't he? Is he that old? Anyway, you guys, let me not think. But anyway, people started doing the process, the process of elimination, trying to figure out, like, who exactly could she be talking about. Tawanda had her man at the time too, but people finally was able to settle on Gabe, okay? And that's how we found out that it was Trina that she was talking about. Now, the niece said that when Gabe was reaching out to her and sexting her, when Trina found out about it, she did reach out to the niece. Apparently, the niece stayed with them for a summer. And when she left, then Gabe started sexting her. The niece maintains that nothing ever physically happened between the two of them, which is still like kind of we not really sure. I mean, it's just interesting that she was there the whole summer. She's 16 years old, and this man was probably coming after her even while she was staying there at the residence. And then for her to leave, and then him to be so comfortable to be sexting her, it was like something. I'm just gonna believe what the girl said, but I can also see why people are just like, are you sure about that? But it doesn't even matter at this point. She's saying that he was sexting her. Nothing happened. When Trina found out, she reached out to her and was like, I'm so sorry this happened to you. And she was fully supportive of her. Okay. I'm assuming that she was upset with Gabe for what she did. I mean, some people would think that that's an offense large enough that you would leave him, because to me, that's something that's unforgivable, but maybe Trina and Gabe decided to try to work through it or whatever, and they moved past it. Well, in the years following, the niece said that Trina somehow flipped the script and was mad at her. Okay. And then finally had stopped talking to her. So the niece was just like, kind of feeling a way about it. She put her story out because she's going through therapy now. And this was part of her therapy, kind of realizing, that she was the victim in all of this. And she wanted to give her story. It's her story to tell, So we knew about this happening. This actually came out, I want to say, a year or two ago. But they've decided now to bring it onto the show. So now Ashely is on the show. The clip that I saw was Tamar talking to Ashely. And you guys, side note, while Tamar is presenting herself as the concerned auntie who wants to be there for Ashely, when you look at how Tamar behaves when she's talking to the girl, like, girl is sitting up there talking about some shit that's pretty traumatizing to her, and the whole time Tamar is just like, oh really, yes girl, what do you say, yeah, all of these antics that shows Tamar's super messy side. You know, the reason that she's talking to Tamar is because Tamar has decided to bring her onto the podcast so she can fully share her story. Anytime Tamar can go against her family, okay, she will take that stance. You know, we know that them ladies slick hate each other. Like, they love each other, but they hate each other. I mean, that is sibling rivalry and fighting to like the ultimate level between, you know, when we think about the Braxton sisters and all the shit that they go through. So I never have gotten the feeling from watching that clip anyway that Tamar was doing good for this niece, that she was capitalizing and exploiting a very hurtful issue between her family just because she's Tamar and she's messy. I know some of you guys will be like, Roxanne, that is not fair. Tamar's trying to be there for her and everything. I don't care. Tamar, if you see that clip, she's just messy and just wrong. But anyway, Tamar is giving the girl a chance to say her side of the story. Now, we also see Tawanda and Trina in another scene where they're discussing what happened, and Trina's all broke up and she's crying. You know, Tawanda is trying to get Trina to explain her side. And I will say that I think that Trina is getting even more heat about this because Gabe is not here to take the heat, you know, so it's like, okay, you was the next closest thing. So Trina is getting blamed for a whole lot of stuff. But the biggest part of it is just the fact that Trina feels like the niece should have came to her and talked about these grievances as opposed to going out and putting it out on TikTok and sharing it with the world. I mean, maybe that would have been a great way for her to do things, but the girl obviously felt like she could not do that because Trina was not talking to her anymore, you know? So it wasn't like she would have this situation where she could comfortably call her aunt and be like, hey, auntie, can we talk? You know? So that's one thing. I mean, you cut the girl off. What do you want her to do? You know, again, it's her story to tell. And it's Gabe's story, really. But the fact that Trina, I've seen a lot of people say that Trina did not try to protect her in that situation. And I think that Trina not knowing what was going on until the girl was gone, that kind of took the ability for Trina to really make some sort of stance. But Trina could have said after the fact, I mean, could have always been like, yeah, that was fucked up what Gabe did. He was wrong. He should have never been doing that. You know, I fully support my niece. I fully understand. I mean, you know, I fully believe my niece and all of that. You know, but instead for her to kind of place the blame on the niece, because I'm sure, you know how families can talk. I'm sure that kitchen table talk was like, I mean, that girl was 16. I mean, you know, she was shapely. She was always walking around with some little shorts. Her ass was always out. You know how people can be. So I'm sure that they probably feel like that girl might have seduced him. You know, it could be all kind of stuff in the story. But at the end of the day, Gabe being the grown person, you know, Trina being the aunt, it just should have been handled differently. For Trina to be up there crying though on camera and all, like it didn't make me feel sorry for her. And I don't think it's gonna make most people feel sorry for her because the victim here is the niece, you know. But yeah, it's an unfortunate situation. Gabe was always weird. When, you know, we know that Tamar hated Gabe. Like, she did not never like him on the show. So this works out perfectly for Trina. You know, she can she can finally just have all the things that she wants to say. But I don't know, that Braxton show, it just is so toxic. Like, the show is so bad. I was surprised that they all agreed to come back. I was like, everybody must need some fucking money. Because, and honestly, what are they all doing? Okay, what exactly are the Braxton ladies doing in their lives other than Well, I can't say that because I don't follow none of them, so I don't know. But I know that some people still were like, Ashely still watches. Maybe I need to watch some of Ashley's reviews. I think Ashely still, because we was feeling the way about how they did the promo for that second season. It had, did you guys see when Ashely had posted? They had posted that guy that was doing that promo, and she was like, I have been fucking watching this show the whole time, and yet this is what y'all do. Yeah, that shit was not right. I was just like, who is that guy? I mean, he probably has millions of followers and everything, but what about your loyal people that's been loyal to your show the whole time, child? Honey, they will smile in your face and then turn their back right on you. Right on you, child. We've been doing this a long time. I've seen it happen many, many, many times. So anyway, that's, you know, moving on from that, you guys. But you guys will let me know what you think about it. I mean, I think that the niece is fully within her rights to tell this story. Yes, it does make a lot of people look bad. But I think that if Trina would have said, I should have handled it better at the time, you know, if Trina could have tried to make herself look like she was more empathetic with the niece, even though she was upset, but maybe she should have done things differently, tried to have a talk with the niece or something. Maybe that'll come out in the season because this is just the beginning, I guess. But yeah, you can see why people are feeling the way that they feel towards Trina. Is Trina still married to that other guy? She's still wearing the hats with the fan on the top. Anyway, you guys, I'm gonna get on off of that story. Let's move on to the next. All right, you guys, congratulations are in order to our girl Angel Reese. She is now the first sports player, athlete, if you will, to walk in the Victoria's Secret's fashion show. You guys know that Victoria's Secret has this fashion show every year. It's usually closer to Christmas. I was so shocked that they were having it already before Halloween. But yeah, you guys, they had the fashion show. And you guys know it's always a big spectacle. All of the stars get dressed up in their finest, and they hit the red carpet and they go to the fashion show. And it's the huge long runway along with the models. You know, they also have an entertainment, music, guests, and all of that. It's a big to-do. And this year, they had pinned, last year when Angel Reese had went to the Victoria's Secret fashion show, she actually tweeted on her Instagram, she posted on her Instagram that one day she's going to walk in the fashion show, which I'll speaking into existence, because now just a year later, Angel Reese is walking on that fashion runway. And you guys, it was a no-brainer. I mean, you can look at Angel Reese. She looks like a model. She's a beautiful girl. I mean, there's a lot of beautiful girls in the WNBA now. Even some that are, you know, can I say masculine, child? I don't want to upset nobody, but there's some beautiful masculine ones and there's some beautiful feminine ones, okay? And it was a no-brainer to put Angel Reese up there. I mean, she's tall. She's got them long legs. She's got a beautiful body. She's a beautiful girl in the face, you know. It was a no-brainer. They also had the girl, Sunny Lee, from the Golden Girls Olympics team. You guys, she was the one that was on there with Simone Biles and Jordan Childs. And who was the other girl? There were 4 of them, you guys. And remember, they took the whole Olympics by storm. Excuse me. She was also one of the models, which was so cute to me because you guys know them gymnastics girls ain't no taller than 5'3", 5'4", you know. They had her modeling the part where they had her modeling more of the pink line. You guys know the pink is the younger line. She was kind of looking like sporty, you know, had on her sports bra and a cute little real short shorts and all of that. But Angel Reese was wearing the wings in one of her walks. She walked twice. She had wings on in one walk, and in another she had like this huge bow. It looked like it had feathers and flowers and all of it. All of the looks of both of the ladies were beautiful. Okay, and I was very proud of Angel Reese because, honey, she walked on down that way and turned around and did her little thing. And, honey, when she walked back, I mean, your eye was trained on that booty that was just going and going and going and going and going. I was just like, girl, you better walk down that aisle. I was really happy for her. She said that, you know, this was a dream come true. You know, that she's just amazed that she's there in the room with all these beautiful women and all these, you know, spectacular models and all. You know, she had been looking at different clips of Naomi and Tyra Banks and, you know, other models, just trying to take something from them, not necessarily trying to model their walk. Because, honey, you can't never model Naomi's walk, child. Folks ain't got that one pinned down yet. But, you know, she said she wasn't trying to do their walks, just trying to take something from it and make it her own. And I thought she did a great job, especially with them skinny ass, little tiny, you guys saw them shoes that she had on with that one strap across your foot, like where your bunion bone would be, and then the other strap goes around your ankle. Do you guys know how fucking hard it is to walk in those shoes? Trust me, I can tell you stories, okay? I mean, you be gripped on, baby. Them nails, them feet, them toes, they be gripped trying to keep them shoes on. And for her to walk that long runway, this being her first time, I'm sure her nerves was up. I mean, she's used to being on, you know, in front of millions of people, but just still, this is not what she normally does. I thought she did spectacular. And it was great to see all the other ladies there, because it was a lot of firsts. Actually, the person that opened the show, did you guys see, that was pregnant? What was her name? I put her name in here. Was it Jessica? What was her name, child? Hold on. Jasmine Tooks. Now, she is a professional model, but she's pregnant, and she's 9 months pregnant. I know they probably was like, please, girl, don't go into labor until this show is over. But, honey, she opened that show. She had her heels on. She had on some gold bathing suit, body suit, some kind of little something underneath. But, honey, we saw that stomach clearly because she had on a netted dress over it, and she looked beautiful and amazing. She even had she had wings on the back, but they were kind of like shaped like I think it was out of clams or something, because I think she had on a bathing suit. That's what it was. She had on a bathing suit. So I think she had on, like, it had clam shells on the wings, but I mean, just amazing. I was like, girl, you better do it. Because, honey, when I was pregnant, I still wore my heels. They used to be like, get your back. I was like, can I worry about my back and not you? Every time I turned around, all them old ass ladies, and that's when I worked for the DA's office in Los Angeles. Honey, them people would be like, you ain't supposed to be wearing them heels. I was like, I'm fine. The baby is fine. I'm not pulling anything anywhere. So, yeah, it was great to see her up there and all the other ladies. You know, we had our normal... you know, the traditional models, the plus size models, Ashely Graham and all that. Everybody was there. Everybody was beautiful. I enjoyed it. They say Missy Elliott performed. I didn't watch the whole fashion show. I just watched the clips of watching the ladies walking down the stage. But they say that Missy Elliott performed, and there were a number of other performances and all. So, yeah, a good time was had by y'all. Did you guys see the video? Did you see our girl Angel down there? I said, come on, girl. This basketball thing don't work out. You could very easily be a model. What about that other girl, Kaiser? Was that her name? Child, we was seeing her for a long time. She was dating we was seeing her a lot. She got dropped from her WNBA team, but she was dating the other basketball player, remember? And we would always see her. She would be dressed up to the nines, honey, on them red carpets, was killing it. But now we don't see her. Or do we? Where else? Is she modeling? What's she doing, child? Because I ain't seen her. But I knew she was also a beautiful one. Anyway, you guys, congratulations to Angel. Maybe, you know, we'll see her on runways more and more in the future. Let's move on to the next. All right, you guys, they say that Darius Mcrary, he was arrested. Just in case you guys was interested. I was like, who the fuck care about Darius Mcrary? But okay, we gonna talk about it. This was over some unpaid child support. So apparently Darius used to raise, he has a child. I don't know how many he has, but this one in particular that we're talking about, he raised from beginning to he was 7 years old. And then I guess he went back with his mama or whatever. He is now 17 years old. Darius Mcrary says he has a great relationship with his son. The problem is this whole child support situation. Now, you guys know there are certain things you just cannot escape in life. Okay? You gonna die. That's the first thing. It's gonna happen. You cannot escape these taxes. Baby, they're gonna come after you. And baby, it looked like you can't really get away from these child support checks either. You gonna have to pay. They ain't playing with y'all with this child support. Now, Darius Mcrary has been arrested 3 times over this same exact matter. Okay? They've let him out. You know, he say he gonna do something, and then he don't do it, and then they arrest his ass again, and then he get out, and he say he gonna do it, and he don't do it, and they arrest his ass again. Okay? So this time, the reason why he was arrested was because he didn't show up for court. There was a bench warrant out for him, and he said that he never got the bench warrant. Now, these things do happen. I used to work in eviction court here in Atlanta, so I do know that you got to make sure that you get the notification to the people. Most of the times, they don't even accept a P.O. box. Like, you got to have a physical address. So I don't know how the courts would have sent his notification to a P.O. box unless the P.O. box did not have, maybe it wasn't a P.O. box. Like, you can buy a P.O. box that actually has a physical address, like at the UPS store. And so maybe that's what happened. They sent it to this address, which was his P.O. box. He said that he never got the notification. They say that you usually get an email, but the email, for whatever reason, he says he never received an email. And I guess that would be easy enough for the courts to see whether or not an email was sent to the correct email address. He also said the reason why he didn't come is because he was sick with COVID at the time. And he couldn't come. All right. And he also was taking care of his ill mother. I said, Darius, what is it? Was all this happening at the same time? Child, you ain't got it. Your mama was sick. You had COVID. You didn't know about it. The email. I was like, okay, Darius. I don't know what exactly the issue is, but Darius ain't paying. He said that he gives the money to his son, and there's no way for the courts to show that. Like, they don't have record of, well, how would the courts know what you giving to the person? See, that's the thing. When you're doing child support, when you know that the child support system is involved in it, you can't be just giving them money just willy-nilly. That shit needs to be on record. Everybody needs to know, because now look at what happens, even though I don't even know if the courts would still consider that. Okay. Because they didn't order you to do that. So, like, why are you doing it? So I don't know how all the child support works, but I do know that them motherfuckers will come after you even after that damn child is grown and gone off to live their own fucking life. I mean, you have heard about people getting money, back pay money, from their child that is grown. I mean, it doesn't happen often, but you have heard those stories before, So, yeah, that's one of them things you can't get away from. And now Darius Mcrary is finding that out the hard way. So they have arrested him. He was on the border. He was on the U.S.-Mexico border. I don't know why he was down there. Like, was he going on vacation or what exactly was happening here? But they arrested him there, and he has been in jail ever since. They have denied him bail because he got in court and they said he was acting erratically, and the judge didn't really know what was going on with Darius. I mean, you guys know we've seen Darius kind of act a little off, so I don't know what all is going on there, but he's still in jail. They're going to extradite him to Michigan, I think. That's where the case is. But then if they don't extradite him, the lawyer says that he's going to be back in court on November 14th. So just more legal problems for old Darius, child. He can't seem to stay out of trouble, child. And every time I see him, I just be like, boy, you never knew when we was watching him be Eddie Winslow, child. We never knew that this was how it was going to turn up. He didn't what's our girl name? Kareen, what's her name? I cannot think of her name. Is it Super anything? You guys know who I'm talking about. The one that wrote the book that, slept with all the celebrities and name dropped. She put him through the ringer. He ain't been the same ever since, child. Anyway, I'm going to move on from there. Hopefully Darius Mcrary can get his whole child support thing figured out. All right, next story. Lastly, you guys, I guess congratulations are in order to TJ and Amy. TJ Holmes and Amy Robach, is that her last name? You guys remember the big scandal when those two were found to be having an affair right under the executive noses of the Good Morning America team? Child, it was a big scandal. He was married, kind of going through a separation, divorce with his current wife, and she had already left her husband, so it looked like she was kind of just waiting in the rafters for her man to join her. And I guess he was planning on doing that, but, shit got decidedly more sped up when they were found out they were having an affair, and they got fired, and it was this whole big scandal. But those two did make lemonade out of lemons, and they decided to start a podcast, which I believe the podcast still goes on today. And 3 years later, you guys, can you believe it's been that long? But yeah, they say 3 years later that these two now are engaged. Okay, so TJ has decided to make an honest woman out of old Amy. Which, I mean, he better had, the way all that shit went. I mean, y'all was gonna look real crazy if you guys ended up with somebody else. So, I mean, at least you put all that shit on the line and it was a payoff in the end. I mean, I don't know how big the payoff is, but, you know, love wins. So, yeah, you guys, congratulations to the happy couple. I guess we'll see when the wedding bells do chime. I'll let you guys know about that as well. All right, you guys, that is it. I'm going to get on off of here and go and get this edited and up to you guys. We do this every single week. So make sure you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, rock stars.